Fatuma said them they go, Massa go by air.
88.5.
Alice throw away your money. You are for member.
From the nation's capital, Yaya Monrovia, a pleasant good afternoon. Come on. And welcome to the Monday afternoon edition of the program, The Kings Local Daily, right there on Kings 88.5 and streaming live on our Cloud TV and our YouTube channel. Today is the 12th day of May and the year is 2025. Welcome to the Monday edition of the program, The Kings Local Daily. This is where we converge to give you some of the big stories that are making news from the various local dailies on the newsstands, and afford you opportunity to send in some of your suggestion, your recommendation to the program. And it should be in line with some of the stories that are making news. So be our guest. My name is Otis Sank and I'm alongside
Jennifer Sima.
And together we're going to be flipping through and giving you some of the big stories that are making news. But a very short break to be back. So welcome back, and it's good to be here on this wonderful Monday afternoon. Like I said, I'm alongside
Jennifer Sima.
And together we're going to be flipping through. We're going to start up from
the Analyst newspaper, volume 26, number 127, and it goes for 40 Liberian dollars. The lead story on the front page of the Analyst newspaper says, pressure mounts for House Speaker election. Kofa set to resign today. Citizens demand election. Still on the front page of the Analyst newspaper, it says, Eugene Nangwe complains brother of falling Cletu Noir wants LNP prop allegations against him on Cletu's death. GOAL on Musa Ability's back. Could it be the reprisal of his betting rule in politics? Quickly to the back page of the Analyst newspaper that goes for 40 Liberian dollars. You could grab yourself a copy. It says Kochi slams Bwaka and Kun, says they are one poisonous snake with two heads. Still on the back page of the Analyst newspaper, it says be groomed for the throne. Shoyin Yen raps Liberian youth unveils the King's Code. Still on the back page of the Analyst newspaper, it says no confirmation for bird flu in Liberia. Nurses elect new leadership. Where is HPX Avinhold 5 billion Liberty Corridor projects? Let's quickly go to the editorial if there is any. Okay, over to you, Otis.
From the Analyst newspaper with Jen and Pessiman, our next stop is the Doyen Inquirer. As our next stop on today's edition of the program, The Kings Local Daily, right there on Kings 88.5 and streaming live on our Cloud TV and our YouTube channel. The Doyen Inquirer, volume 34, number 80. Grab yourself a copy for just 40 Liberian dollars. I made an error when writing Dr. George Dennis faking medical credentials. Okay. The photograph of Peter Matthew George, he's right here on the front page of the Inquirer. BSE unveiled corporate governance framework. Why is the BSE? I don't know. You can grab yourself a copy of the Inquirer to get detail of the story. Still on the front page, LLA crackdown on illegal wetland sales in Montserrat. That's the Liberia Land Authority. Okay, I can see some staffers of the Liberia Land Authority right here with some residents on the front page of the Inquirer. Liberia marks EU Day 2025 with major electrification gains, youth empowerment milestone. We flip quickly to the back page of the Inquirer. Weimar Quillet clan resident opposed elevation of local chief. The photograph of Mr. Edwin K. Nama. He's the paramount chief of the Weimar Quillet clan there in Mangibi County. Kakata resident rallied to support fire victims. There's another story on the back page of the Inquirer. Stay on the back page. Gafuan discloses government 100 schools nationwide plan. Wow. Let's run for the editorial quickly. The editorial of the Doyen Inquirer newspaper. It reads, Liberia must get better now or never. That's the editorial of the Doyen Inquirer newspaper.
The Heritage newspaper, volume 28, number 355,725, and it goes for 40 Liberian dollars. The lead story on the front page of the Heritage newspaper says, President Mazin Bouacar honor Barbadians in Cruiserville. Still on the front page of the Heritage newspaper, that goes for 40 Liberian dollars. It says, government assures Liberian students of safety. Foreign minister to dispatch team in Kashmir tension. Quickly to the back page of the Heritage newspaper, that goes for 40 Liberian dollars. It said, National Reference Lab confirms all samples test negative for H5N1, says LPHRL. Still on the back page of the Heritage newspaper, it says, President Bouacar commissions Ambassador Sharif to Sierra Leone. Still on the back page, it says, government to build 100 schools starting September 2025. Finance Minister Gafuan reveals. Quickly to the editorial of the Heritage newspaper, that goes for 40 Liberian dollars. And it says, the Heritage said, a bold blueprint for Liberia's future. GOL will begin to build 100 new schools. That does it for the Heritage newspaper.
For the authoritative Heritage newspaper, our next up is the Oracle News Daily. Reporting the truth to you is the motto. Volume 3, number 38, sold for 40 Liberian dollars. Kofa quits. The photograph of a House Speaker, Jonathan Funati Kofa, is right here on the front page of the Oracle News Daily. RRE on board 24 engineering interns. What is the RRE? That's the Rural and Renewable Energy Agency. Morba Malu alleges assassination attempt. The Solidarity and Trust for a New Distinct Executive Director Morba Malu is right here on the front page of the Oracle News Daily. EU media initiate to boost rural electrification in Liberia, Southeast. European undermining Liberia economic, Ellen says. The photograph of a former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. She's right here on the front page of the Oracle News Daily. Let's see what the Baptist is reporting. Shameful exploitation. Koji criticizes soldiers, low pay. Jefferson Tamakoji, he's the Secretary General of the Congress for Democratic Change. He's right here on the back page of the Oracle News Daily. Meanwhile, Tina donates 300 chairs to University of Liberia. Dr. Lena Mapayan, she's the president of the University of Liberia, along with some staff, right here on the back page of the Oracle News Daily. Let's see if we can give you the editorial quickly. The editorial of the Oracle News Daily. It reads, let Pwaka have a speaker. Let Pwaka have a speaker. That's the editorial of the Oracle News Daily.
The Liberian Investigator, a newspaper that goes for $50 Liberian, volume 1, number 051. The lead story on the front page of the Liberian Investigator newspaper said, he killed my wife. He killed my wife from bleeding wounds. To an answer calls victims recount harrowing encounters with Dr. Peter George, the man they trusted the system that failed them. We have the photographs of the Dr. Matthew George here, the late Abigail Mami Miller and her husband Andonins Miller. So sad. Quickly to the back page of the Liberian Investigators newspaper. That is all sport. Bobby Bala becomes Liberia's most decorated chess player. Okwa accuses LFA of targeting alliance as Jubilee relegates Master Queen Barn. Vavle Conan plays down LPRC Olas title ambitious. Quickly to the editorial of the Liberian Investigator, a newspaper. The editorial says Liberia must jail fake Dr. Peter George and cleanse its health. That does it for the Investigator.
From the Liberian Investigator, our next stop is the Nation's News since 1989. Volume 36, number 13, sold for $40 Liberian. Front page, major stories. Water trouble. 36-inch pipeline rupture again. Wow. Still the front page of the newspaper. Who killed Cletus Noah? That's the big question. Has Eugene Nangwe once probe in alleged foul play? The photograph of Alain Eugene Nangwe, former maritime boss and non-chief of office star to the former president, along with the late Cletus Noah, right here on the front page of the newspaper. Let's flip to the back page and see what it is reporting. Cruiserville turns 160 has Barbadian's leader hail legacy. Okay, President Joseph Yuma Bouaka, along with the Barbadian president, Her Excellency Damin Sandra Mason. Still on the back page, maritime boss Chinese ambassador meet ahead of post-state control talks. Nito Zalai, he's the head of or the commissioner of the Liberia Maritime Authority, along with Chinese ambassador His Excellency Yin Xinquan. Still on the back page, woman busted in LD 232K cannabis trafficking. Wow. Rural internet connectivity extend to Kitmount. It's another story here. Labor Minister calls for citizen collective support in driving arrest agenda. Cooper Kwara, he's the Minister of Labor. Let's see if we can get to the editorial quickly. The editorial of the newspaper, it reads, we hail decisive step in any impunity in Liberia. That's the editorial of the newspaper. Our next stop,
the Independent newspaper that goes for $50 Liberian, volume 23, number 539. The lead story on the front page of the Independent newspaper says, Speaker Kofa resigns today. Who presides, Fala or Kun? That's the $1 billion question. Next is Cletus Noah's death trickles uproar as Eugene Nangwe calls for police prop. Quickly to the back page of the Independent, a newspaper that goes for $50 Liberian. It says Barbados declares visa free for Liberians. India assures safety of Liberian student. Arrested Ajana requires collective citizens support. Next is Liberia, Guinea reaffirm commitment to boost regional transport. Quickly to the editorial of the Independent newspaper. Kudos to Liberia Maritime Authority for settlement of IMO due other gains. That does it for the Independent newspaper.
From the Independent newspaper, Our next stop is the Front Page Africa, volume 18, number 88, sold for $40 Liberian. Major stories on the front page. Bound by blood, culture, and spirit. Bound by blood, culture, and spirit. President Boakat Mason reaffirmed Liberia-Barbados ties at 160th anniversary of our Cruiserville, celebrating shared heritage. Hey, Barbados president, or the Barbadian president, along with His Excellency Joseph Yuma Boakat, they're right here on the front page of the Front Page Africa newspaper. Everybody, some way, somehow, was affected. Experts warned mental health counseling needed across the country as war crimes court planning gets underway. Making the ultimate sacrifice, Speaker Kofa expected to resign today amid executive majority bloc refusal to honor Supreme Court ruling. Speaker Jonathan Fonati Kofa is right here on the front page. Inspiring students to be agent of change. Liberia School of Law launches Rule of Law Center in splendid ceremony. Let's flip to the back page and see what it is reporting. It's all about sports. Liberia Football Association suspending club president and match official over rules violation. Grace Harawia, she's the president of the Tami Girls. Yeah, she's right here on the back page. Let's see if we can get the editorial of the Front Page Africa newspaper. The Front Page Africa newspaper editorial, it reads, Kofa exit should mark a turning point for Liberia broken legislature. Kofa exit should mark a turning point for Liberia's broken legislature. That's the editorial.
Last but not the least, the Verity newspaper, volume 2, number 23, and it goes for $40 Liberian. You could grab yourself a copy. The lead story on the front page of the Verity newspaper says, who killed Cletus Noir? That's the $1 million question again. Still on the front page of the Verity newspaper, it says corruption in River G. Leaks report links superintendent. Quickly to the back page of the Verity newspaper, that goes for $40 Liberian. It says Liberian students in India appeal for repatriation. Still on the back page of the Verity newspaper, it says no bird flu outbreak in Liberia. LNPRS assaults. Still on the back page, it says students benefit from free WIAC prep classes. Still on the back page, it says families of fertile victims when fake doctor arrested. They want the fake doctor to be arrested. Let's quickly run to the editorial if there is any. Okay, that does it for the Verity newspaper.
From the Verity newspaper with Jen and Pessima, our last and final stop is the Halifax News. The Halifax newspaper is our last and final stop on today's edition of the program, The King's Local Daily. Volume 01, number 04, sold for $40 Liberian. You can grab yourself a copy and get details for some of the stories that are making news right here. 46 more days for Chief Justice your exit, but she is seeking for extension. Liberia Chief Justice Her Honor Sianen Ayo. She's right there on the front page of the Halifax newspaper. LEC boss emphasizes importance of engaging regional bloc to access and negotiate power supply. The acting LEC boss, Mr. Mohammed Sharif, is right here on the front page of the Halifax newspaper. Amid regional tension, Foreign Minister Yanti engages Indian authorities on welfare of Liberian students. Sarah Beslo Yanti, she's the Minister of Foreign Affairs, right here on the front page of the Halifax newspaper. NAFA World Bank break ground for agricultural hectareage in Birmingham County. NAFA boss, he's right here, along with the executive of the World Bank Liberia office. Let's flip to the back page of the Halifax newspaper and see what it is reporting. Resist any attempt to prevent truth reporting. resist any attempts to prevent truth reporting. Lafayette Horatio Gould warns journalists. Cultural identity at risk. Ambassador Kamara craves lawmaker to ratify UNESCO convention. Still on the back page of the Halifax. CSO Council wants Bwaka Act down indoor situation. Inspector General of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Doyle Cooper, is right there on the back page of the Halifax newspaper. New chapter, BSE, the beaming lights on SOEs. Director Massacre and Roosevelt Ford, Deputy Director for Operation, are right there on the back page of the Halifax newspaper. The editorial is what we're going for now, if there's any. The editorial of the Halifax newspaper, it reads, leave no stone unturned in the fight against rape. That's the editorial of the Halifax newspaper. On that note, this is how I would like to draw the curtains on this Monday edition of the program, The King's Local Daily. But before we take a leave of you, stories. Oh, come on. Some of the comments have been filtering through on today's edition of the program. And this one says, good afternoon, Kings FM Cloud TV. I'm following from a complex city in Nima County, and let me extend my appreciation to this noble and blessed institution for the excellent work going for the people of Liberia. Thanks so much, Philip B. Blambo. Abraham Kromasi, I'm following from an Iron Factory community resident. Peter Wonder said, good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon, Peter.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. I'm following from the Crown Hill community. Thanks for the show, guys. Okay, that's Peter one day. And Kelvin says, good afternoon, King's Daily. I'm following from Upper Carwell. Indeed, let Bwaka have his speaker. Nothing will still change. He will still feed us with lies. Julia Wongwe is also here. She says she's following. Thanks so much, Julia Wongwe. Watson said, May are posted at the national headquarters of the Democratic Congress for Democratic Change for the Revolutionary National Youth League press conference. Please listen to Voice of Liberia 104.1 radio station right now. Okay. I'm following from Johnsonville resident, members of the CDC regular intellectual militants, Wharton. Thanks so much, Wharton. Fumba MC says, save, watching you from Matadi Singer. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, Fumba said good afternoon. Thanks so much to all of you who've been following us. And the program return tomorrow, same time, same station. My name is Otis Sanka.
I'm Jennifer Sima.
And together was Otis Sanka and Jennifer Sima production. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.